And number two, we're going to write an equation for the line containing 1, 5 and perpendicular to the line 8y equals 2x minus 8. Perpendicular to the line 8y equals 2x minus 8 means that the slope of the line 8y minus 2x, 8y equals 2x minus 8 has to be multiplied by the slope of the perpendicular line to equal -1. But let's do a little bit of work before we get there. First of all, this is our point x and y. And if we're going to find the slope of the perpendicular to this line, we're going to have to find the slope of this line. So let's do that by dividing this out and getting y equals 2x over 8 minus 8 over 8, because we divided by 8, both sides. Now we're going to simplify that. That's equal to 1x over 4, or 1/4 x minus 1. Our m is equal to 1/4, and our y-intercept is equal to -1. Now the question is, we want the perpendicular line to that, and as we said, it means that this m times m perpendicular has to equal -1. Well, let's see if it does. 1/4 times m perpendicular equals -1. Well, how are we going to find what the slope of the perpendicular is from that equation? Real simple. We divide by 1/4 on both sides. If we divide by 1/4 on both sides, we're going to get our m perpendicular equal to, now this is -1 divided by 1/4. Everybody remembers with fractions that's -1 times 4 over 1, because that's the way it goes with fractions when you divide them. Okay? Just get that up. Again, so everybody remember that when you divide by a fraction, you're actually multiplying by its reciprocal, 4 over 1, in which case you've got to go ahead and, let's see here, 4 over 1. You go ahead and you get -4 over 1, and that's the slope of the perpendicular. We're still not done by any stretch of the imagination. We have to use that now to find an equation of the perpendicular. It has to contain the point 1, 5, and we know the slope. So we go ahead and place that in there. We'll go with y equals m perpendicular x plus b. And we can now use the slope that we found. We've got our points y and x, 1 and 5, and let's use them. 5 equals -4 times 1 plus b, and 5 equals -4 plus b means that if we add 4 on both sides, we get b equal to 9. So we've got our slope, we've got our y-intercept. We're going to use those in a new y equals mx plus b form, but in this case, our m is equal to -4, so we got y equals -4x plus 9, and that is it. We have finished the problem because it does satisfy all that we wanted. We have the slope of the perpendicular at -4. We have the point that was supposed to be on the perpendicular line is right there. It's 1, 5. It's a little bit muddled. We can't see it, but it's there. 1, 5. And we put that in here and solved it with the y equals mx plus b again. We got y equals -4x plus 9. So we're good. Next one, number 3. Write an equation for the line containing 3, 4 and parallel to the line x minus 2y equals 6. We graph both of them and label them. So, an equation of the line containing 3, 4 and parallel to the line x minus 2y equals 6. Well, parallel means the slopes have to be identical. So first of all, we've got to deal with slope. But for that we need to go again, y equals mx plus b. Okay, but to get to that, you need to subtract x, and you need to divide by -2. Okay, so you subtract x on both sides, and -2y equals -x plus 6. And we divide by -2. Everything gets divided by -2. We get y equals x over 2 minus 3. All right. Now we're going to multiply by 2 on both sides. Let's multiply by 2 here, 2 here. No, we're not. Actually, we have all the information we need now. So with this y equals x over 2 minus 3, we have the information we need. This is 1/2. B equals -3. And now we use that information, write an equation for the line containing 3, 4, and parallel to this line. Well, parallel to this means it has the same slope. So if we use y equals mx plus b, but we use the same slope, then we don't know the y-intercept because it's a new line. We're going to put in 3 and 4 because we still know that the points are contained, 3 and 4. Okay, 4 equals 1/2 times 3 plus b. Okay. So right there we're going to go equals 3 over 2 plus b. Yeah. So we subtract 3 over 2 on both sides. We get 4 minus 3 over 2 equals b. 4 minus 3 over 2 is equal to, same thing as 8 over 2 minus 3 over 2, so we've got 5 over 2 equal to b. And now we can go ahead and put that back in. We know our slope is 1/2, we know our b is 5 over 2, we get y equals 1/2 x plus 5 over 2. And again, remember, this is the line that is parallel, okay, parallel to the original given line, x minus 2y equals 6. Now, if you look at these, you look at the fact that they both have the same slope but different y-intercepts. And we would do something like this. We could graph something like that. We would have a line that looks more or less like this. 5 over 2 is the same as 2.5. We got -3 is 1 y-intercept. We start there for the first line, up 1 over 2, something like that. And here we go. Then this one over here, 1/2 x plus 5 over 2 is 2.5. We've got 1, 2, and a bit, so that's our y-intercept. Then we go up 1 over 2, and we have a parallel line again to this other one. And it's going to look more or less like that. And we're done. The key is finding the slope of the first line and then using it. Okay, we found the slope of the first line, 1/2, and we used it in here. We didn't know what the y-intercept was, but we knew that slope, and we used the same point. They have the point 3, 4 in common, so that was one thing that the question gave us. All right, is they had the point 3, 4 in common, so that really helped. We didn't have it in common. One thing that really helped was that we knew the point that the parallel line had to go through. Had to go through 3, 4. So that helped us locate it. And then we were able to get our y-intercept from there.